Welcome back to Your Real Estate Voice with Barb Schlinker, the weekly radio show that informs and educates you on how to buy or sell real estate with Barb Schlinker, the owner broker of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. Now, Barb, with the real estate market cooling off a little bit, many home sellers don't want to wait to sell their homes or worry about their contracts failing for different reasons. What are the benefits of accepting a cash offer on their home versus waiting for a traditional sale?
Well, Richard, it's really interesting because at the closing table, it all works out to be cash anyway, right? The seller's loan gets paid off, the expenses get covered, and they put money in the pocket in most cases if all things work out well. And so if a home seller has two offers in front of them, one of them's cash and one of them's a traditional sale, the problem with a traditional sale is that there could be some hiccups down the road, like appraisal, like financing, all those kind of things. So you don't have to worry about those two things with cash, but that doesn't necessarily mean that if you're a cash buyer, you get a discount. A lot of buyers will present their offer and go, well, I'm paying with cash, therefore you should give me a discount just because it's more certain than a traditional sale. And some sellers don't agree to that. If you got two buyers on the table, one happens to have cash and the other one has financing, but the financing looks pretty solid, the one with financing is higher, they might take the higher offer just because of what they're going to net at the end. So cash isn't necessarily the best offer, but today we're going to talk about when cash wins and when it doesn't, and how do you actually, if you're a home seller, choose the best route that you're going to go. So there are certain reasons that people will take a cash offer. One is that generally it's faster. A cash deal can close in 10 days, although I just had a finance deal close in 10 days. So I don't know how fast you can do it, but it seems kind of the same. That what makes them simpler is you don't have to worry about a third-party appraisal, and you don't have to worry about a third-party loan approval. So the questions I get from home sellers as we're going along the process, first problem is inspection, followed by the buyer's appraisal, followed by the buyer's loan approval. They want to know everything's going to go fine because they are working on this big project of moving that's ahead of them, and they don't want to move out if their home's not going to sell. So that's why cash tends to be a lot cleaner and a little bit more effective. There is no loan approval. There's no lender delays. There's fewer chances of things falling through. So that's part of what makes cash very appealing. Now, if you have a bidding war and one buyer is cash and one buyer is not cash, no, maybe the cash person might look a little bit more attractive. It just depends because of the quick closing, because of the certainty. A traditional buyer introduces uncertainty in that in the inspection, they could bail out. The appraiser may not think the home is worth the agreed upon sales price. The buyer may not get their loan approved. All those things could derail the sale, and it could happen 3+ weeks late into the process. And that's really, really a not fun experience for home sellers. Most home sellers, obviously, they want the highest price and they want it to go smoothly. Now, a traditional buyer might offer more, but then they've got the worry of the loan approval. They've got the worry about the appraisal. They got the worry about the buyer backing out. And that's why we're seeing a growing number of home sellers actually accept investor cash offers, because it's like the easy button. It's the certainty. They know it's going to happen, especially when home sellers have a home that needs some work, or they just don't want to make it look pretty for showing. They just want to get on with their lives and get it done. So there's a growing number of people that will opt for that option, and there's a cost for that. Typically, they're not going to net as much money as they would under a traditional sales process. Not all finance buyers are risky, by the way. You can get a really good feel as to whether or not it's going to go through based on the amount of down payment, based on the talking with the lender and just seeing how solid they are. There's a lot of clues that can give you confidence that it's going to go through. And let me just tell you a story. I recently had a home seller that was a retired Marine infantry officer. He was very gruff and tough. And when we first met, he said, okay, Barb, the way I want you to do this is I want the most money. I said, okay, well, the way you get the most money is not by pricing it the highest. You have to price it right to attract a lot of buyers to throw their best hat in the ring. So that's what we did. We ended up getting 6 offers. The top 2 offers, one was cash and one was getting a VA loan. So I had to go back and play mom against dad with those 2 buyers and get their ultimate highest and best, even though they allegedly brought their best offer up front, which they didn't. And he asked a really good question when we were talking about which buyer he should pick. The finance buyer was substantially higher than the cash buyer by $41,000. However, that buyer was getting a VA loan, 100% financing. So it meant that we had to prove that the home was worth $41,000 more. And we did not have the proof. The similar sales didn't match it. So he goes, well, when in the process does this take place that you determine whether or not the appraiser thinks it's worth the contract price? I said, it doesn't happen until about a week before closing. And that is the problem. He didn't want to make the house not look good, start breaking things down, start packing things up. And 3 weeks into it, the buyer has to bail out because the house did not appraise at the agreed upon sales price. They don't have the difference in cash, which means we got to start over and get a new buyer. So what he ended up doing in that case was took the cash offer, which it wasn't the most money, it was the most certainty. And a lot of home sellers are going to take a cash offer just because of that word certainty. They can move quickly. They can move on their timeline. They could stay after closing. They know they're going to get to the finish line. They know they're going to be able to buy their next house. Cash is a very, very powerful tool when it comes to it. But traditional sales win when a home seller wants to net the most money. They don't mind waiting 30 days, and they just have to make good decisions about picking the best offer that works for them. And it'd be nice to get the best of both worlds. And there are some home sellers that can do that. They price it where they get competing offers, or they compare their cash offers with their traditional buyers and see which one is going to do the best for them. Here's the bottom line. It's not necessarily the highest offer that wins. Sometimes it's the most certain offer, the one that you know is going to go through. So it just depends. I can tell you from my own experiences in real estate that home sellers really, really hate it when we're 3 weeks into the process and all of a sudden the buyer bails out. And in the state of Colorado, it's so easy for a buyer to bail out anywhere along the way and get their deposit back. No harm, no foul, unless it is protected. And unfortunately, that's been going on with more home sellers reducing their prices, not getting the certainty that they need. A lot of people are opting for that easy button, that cash offer in this market. My name is Barb Schlinker. I'm the broker owner of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty and the host of this show, Your Real Estate Voice. And we're talking about how you compare a cash offer program to the traditional sale process, which one is better. And it really depends on your situation. So that's what we do. We meet with home sellers. We give them tips on what to do, what not to do to get their house ready for sale. We show them what the market could command. We also show them cash offers. So if you want those choices, give us a call at 719-301-3900 or visit barbhasthebuyers.com. Richard?
You're listening to Your Real Estate Voice with Barb Schlinker of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. You can always reach Barb at 719-301-3900. And we're talking with Barb about how sellers can trade up to a new home if a seller does take a cash offer. Is there any risk of it falling through or giving up some of the equity, Barb?
Well, Richard, falling through, probably not. I mean, every deal, regardless of whether or not it's cash or traditional, is going to start with an inspection. And typically, if the buyer finds something defective, they're going to go back and they're going to ask the home seller to fix the broken stuff. That doesn't mean this is their time to get upgrades. It means it's their time to get the broken things addressed. And it is a point of negotiation. You don't have to accept everything that they demand. And in the state of Colorado, there's no license to be an inspector. So you never know what you're going to get. I could have the same house go through 2 inspections. It'll be completely different stuff that the buyer asked for. So at the end of the day, it's not as certain for sure because there is the inspection process, but it's more certain than also waiting for appraisal and loan approval, especially in some cases. Like just last week, we're supposed to close this week. Last week, they were supposed to get through their loan approval by Friday. And at the last minute, the underwriter, oh no, we need 1 more day. So we had to worry all weekend about whether or not this buyer could get their loan. Fortunately, it worked out, but I'm just saying, they basically were asking for more time to bail out in case they couldn't get the loan. So that introduces that level of uncertainty 1 week before closing is what the home sellers just hate. And that's why they like the cash offer program. And we offer multiple cash offer guarantee. We offer a price guarantee and a home sale guarantee. To find out more about those, give us a call at 719-301-3900. You can, or go to barbhasthebuyers.com and just click on cash offers and we'll be able to help you. Richard?
Barb, you and your team are the only company that I'd recommend to people out there who are thinking about selling their homes and downsizing to a smaller home. To reach Barb, give her a call at 719-301-3900. Now, Barb, your favorite time, lightning round, hot new listings.
Well, I have some for sure. I've got a really nice, reasonably priced condo down in the southwest part of town on Saturn, priced just at $49,999. And this is a really good buy. Nice properties, great starter home, actually. I have another home down in Monte Vista, Colorado on Davis Street, priced in the mid 200s. A beautiful townhome in the southwest part of town on Autumn Heights, priced at $274,900. A gorgeous 2-story home that has 4 bedrooms plus a loft on Gold King, priced at $389,900. A stunning home on 2+ acres in D20 on Vincent Drive, priced at $949,900. And a beautiful home on 80 acres on Judge Orr Road. This home has a single family, gorgeous custom home over 5,400 square feet with a beautiful deck. Plus, there's an auxiliary dwelling unit of 2,900 square feet, plus 2 barns. You have very happy 4-legged family members. Lots of fencing and cross fencing. Is really the perfect hobby farm estate, priced at $1.39 million. So if you are thinking of making a move, give us a call. We can help you with that. We also have a stunning place up in Florissant, 2754 County Road 421, in the mountains, 35 acres. Has spectacular views, pretty much the vista of all the mountains up there, a beautiful detached building that also has an ADU and enough space to park 8 cars plus an RV and many more. We also have 2 hitting the market this week. They're going to be the perfect downsizing home and a great lot on Hidden Valley. To find out about all of our properties, go to barbhasthebuyers.com and click on featured homes. Richard?
You've been listening to Your Real Estate Voice with Barb Schlinker of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. And if you are thinking of making a move, call Barb at 719-301-3900. Or as always, you can visit barbhasthebuyers.com. That'll do it for this week. Barb, forward to talking to you soon.